The music's getting us ready.
Someone's ready.
Welcome to Uber Tales. Don't shoot the driver.
Unless it's Joshua.
Unless it's me today.
Don't shoot the late guy.
Right.
It's not
Always
his
waiting
fault
on
he's
Josh.
late. Oh, wait, it is
It
his
is.
fault.
Spend too much time looking pretty. That's the problem.
It's hard. It's hard to look that good.
It is.
Takes a lot of time and effort.
It does.
Right.
Well, welcome to the show today. A new episode of the Uber Tales. Are we just going to jump right in, guys? I mean, that's
Let's
what we
do it.
do here at Uber Tales.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's do
We're
it.
jumping in, and I think, if I'm not wrong, today we are passing the baton over to Joshua. Is that correct?
Yes.
The late
Yeah.
guy.
All
The
right.
late guy.
That's why it was all on you to wait. So what was happening on that fateful night, day, time?
So it's funny that, the theme today is lateness because I was working super late. This story takes place around 3 a.m. actually.
3 a.m. Oh,
Yeah.
pretty late.
nothing good happens at 3 a.m.
That's what Brad has always told me. Nothing good happens after around like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It's just
Downhill
downhill
from there.
Yeah, from there. And, for the most part, it's been right, actually.
Snakes crawl at night.
Right.
You
That's
get the
what
crazies.
they
Yeah.
say.
So, but this story is pretty funny, but I guess also kind of dangerous too, in a way.
Danger and humor.
Yeah.
Those are the
Like
good
it.
ones.
Yeah. So, to start us off, I am 3 a.m. super late at night. I'm going through basically, I don't want to say the exact part of the city, but it's basically the ghetto of Salt Lake City, and I get a ping, and it's kind of a weird one because it's at a gas station. I can tell the location.
It's weird. Why
Yeah.
is that weird, a gas station?
Well, I
I
mean,
picked up from the gas station before.
yeah, I don't know, but at 3 a.m., and you're picking someone up at a gas station,
That
it's
smells
that's
like
kinda
somebody
strange.
just dropped them off at a gas station because they were trouble.
Maybe.
And now
Could be.
they need an Uber.
Yeah, could be like you.
You
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Yeah.
You don't know
You don't.
because I mean, this isn't the story, but there's other stories where I've seen drug deals basically happening at gas stations,
course.
late at night, and I've actually,
Bought from them.
Depends on what they're selling.
Yeah. I've
Depends
bought
on the
some
price.
marijuana at 2 a.m. at the gas station before. I mean, come on. Doesn't everybody do that? I
So-
got my medical card.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
so
Okay.
So I mean, I've seen that, so I'm always like leery whenever I'm picking up people super late at night at gas stations, but. Anyway, so I see that and I'm like, okay, I'll bite, whatever. I don't know the situation.
Were you
so.
were you ready to give it up, or were you just like, I'm going till 6 a.m. tonight?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
no,
what you were thinking?
yeah. For
Oh,
that,
you were-
I'm going to be driving. I know, like
You
I've
were
got my
doing the
cutoff.
night shift.
Yeah, I've got my cutoff probably around 5 a.m. That's about as late as I went to work that day. And so this is in, I believe, this was January, kind of like end of January, so
Cold.
it's freezing. Yeah, it's really cold outside. I mean, it's icy cold. Maybe like 20 degrees, 17 degrees. It's damn cold. Yeah, it's very cold.
Teens.
Yeah, it's one of those like,
Bundle up.
frigid,
Yeah.
frigid nights. And so again, that's also part of like, okay, I'm picking
Frigid
people
nights.
up.
I like that. Frigid nights.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, we'll put it on some kind of a Christmas card anyway.
Yeah.
So
It was a frigid
One
night.
frigid night.
And
So-
there was Santa Claus. Oh, okay. Sorry.
so I get this ping and I'm going there, and because it's at this like particular gas station, which is a pretty large
The
one,
known drug gas station.
I'm pulling up there, and it's hard to get to the exact like pickup location, just because of where they placed it. But I'm
How does that work? What do you say, place it? Because I'm assuming you put in your address, or no? Does your phone just go, hey, I know where this person... I mean, how do they do that? Because, again, I don't know
You don't
anything
know,
about
yeah.
Uber. So...
you mean like when the
Because
rider...
I would assume I'm at this gas station, so I just say, hey, I'm at this gas station. But it gives you like an exact spot?
Yeah. You have a spot that you pull up to, and then it starts the timer. Like, hey, your driver's here, and it'll notify the rider so they know.
Yeah, so the thing with that, though, is you have to, like, so when somebody requests a ride, if they say my location, it will go exactly to where they're at, and that's where you need to drive to. So sometimes it works really good and sometimes it doesn't. So it just depends, because sometimes they'll be like 2 or 3 or 4 houses down, but that's the closest.
And does it have
pin.
a kind of an area? Because what if you go to the gas station and there's no stalls to go in and wait?
Exactly. You have the option to basically say, "Hey, I'm here," and you can like manually
text
them and let them know.
Text or call.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this was one of those situations where I was like, "Hey, I'm here. I can't get to exactly where the pinpoint was because it was literally like in the building itself, So I was like, pulling up basically as close as I could, and I said, "Hey, I'm at the gas station."
You pull into a parking spot in the gas station?
It's 3 a.m. It's freezing cold. It's not busy. There's no one there.
Right. I would think so.
I don't even. I never got out and checked, but if memory serves me, I don't even think the gas station was open, to be honest.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that makes it a little
different. There were lights on, but it wasn't. There was nobody there.
How the hell did they
so
ping it from inside the building if it was all closed?
Well, they can pick. They can pick their location. Yeah.
Like,
they
we're
can
at this building.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you'll find out why it was so strange as the story goes on.
Of course we will. That's the whole point.
Absolutely.
So
Uber
I send a text, "Hey, I'm here." Nobody. No response. And so I'm like, all right, 4 minutes pass. I'm like, where the hell are they? And then also, you lock your doors and you're like, oh shit, someone about to ambush me. Like, what's going on? Yeah. I've been sitting here for a while.
They're running out with big cases of beer under their arms. Go! Throw it in
exactly.
Go!
They got their wheelman.
Oh crap! I'm a wheelman.
Yeah. Late at night, your imagination starts to spin. Like, what is going on? And
that's when you just put it in reverse and drive off. Can't you just do that?
Yeah, you could. But
you like to live on the edge, right, Joshua?
Somewhat, and
depends on what it is.
Also, the later it goes at night, sometimes the less pings you have for rides. So, you're more apt to take what you get. Yeah. And then, you don't want to not take it because you spend all the time driving there. So I waited there, I'd say about 5 minutes after sending, "Hey, I'm here." And then I did a call. And then the name of the person I was picking up was supposed to be a guy, but a woman picks up, a girl. And she starts spinning me some crazy tales. She's like, "Yeah, they're coming. They're in the neighborhood, 2 neighborhoods down from you. They're what corner are you on?" I'm like, "I'm not at a corner. I'm at a gas station." Yeah.
Where it told me to go. Where the app said.
Yeah, where it told me to go.
And her phone number is that it should be connected to that phone?
So the name was a guy, but the person picking up was a girl. So automatically I was like, okay, so is this my right? Who is this?
3 a.m.
And
you are
then she's like,
your life
I know,
in your own
I know,
my crap.
I know. And then she's going through this whole tale. She's like, "Look, they're 2 neighborhoods down. Please don't go. Just stay there. They're making their what street corner are you at? What this, what the?" I'm like, I'm in a gas station. I'm where I was like, "Did you order the ride?"
And do you have your wallet with you full of cash so we can take it?
So she's saying all this stuff to me, and I said, "Okay, look, let me get you." I said, "This is the street address. This is the cross street." And they said, "Okay."
Aren't they the ones that picked that?
Yeah.
So that again, this is part of my head's thinking like, what is going on? What's
red
the situation
flags,
here? Yeah,
Joshua,
red flags. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Back out. Go. Pineapple.
I'm gonna live dangerous.
So
that's your safe word. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. Safe pineapple. Brad, help. No.
Brad, help.
Send reinforcements.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I told her, I said, look, she's like, "Just please stay there. I'm going to call them," or something like that. And I was like, okay. And so she is doing whatever she's doing. I'm literally just sitting there.
How long has this been?
And, at this point, during the whole conversation, it's got to be at least probably 6-7 more minutes, of talking back and forth. So now I'm probably a good, I'd say 12 to 13 minutes in,
And that's just on
waiting.
The clock, though, right? It's Uber's ticking it.
Yeah. Well,
okay. I'm honestly surprised you waited that long. You don't wait that long. So why did you?
Yeah, typically.
It's 3 in the morning. He didn't have a lot of calls.
It's 3. Okay. Yeah. The later,
I might as well just sit here.
Brad knows, the later it goes, the less pings you're going to get, And so if you haven't gotten a ping for a sec, what?
Why are you doing it?
To make money.
Because nobody else
does.
Yeah, nobody else is doing it.
No one else is doing it, but also sometimes the fares are little better. It just depends. You might get more pings and you might get better fares. It really just depends.
Oh man, this guy's coming 4 in the morning. I should treat him right.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be that, yeah.
So,
Seems like just a lot of crazies to me, but
Oh, there is.
well, at least it makes for good stories, right? For our
There you
podcast.
go.
So,
Absolutely.
finally,
You guys taking more chances now that we've done the show? You're like, ooh, this will be a good. I would usually reject this one.
Brad's getting
but
bullets. I was like, this is awesome.
No.
Pop, pop, pop.
I'm still sticking to my like 1 o'clock and done, but yeah.
Yeah.
One and done.
Yeah.
One and done.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Brad's a wise man. So, anyways, I start seeing. I see two guys because at this point I pull out. I kind of like angle my car the other way to see because she said the
So
two
you can
neighborhoods.
take off quickly if you need to.
That too, yes, but
Don't
also
wanna
so
be
I can get
stuck
a
in the
better
parking.
I can get a better view, of like
Uh-huh.
what is going on.
If they're too crazy, I just take
And-
off.
I see these two dudes, like shuffling, like limping almost, and I'm looking at them like, what the hell? Yeah, they're all like,
It's like zombies.
And so I'm like, okay, those must be the two fools, that she's talking about. So I unlock my car,
Don't
and
leave them. They just did a drive-by, and I think they got hurt.
they literally jump in my car. And I remember telling this story to Brad, and I had almost tears in my eyes. I'm sitting there, obviously in the driver's seat, and I can feel the fucking chill coming off
of
their
their
clothes
bodies?
and their skin. Yeah, and I'm sitting up there. I was like, oh my god, just the two of them in the back. It's like I can feel the cold coming off
yeah.
them, and. One is this young, pretty good looking, fit bartender dude. I'd find out he's a bartender. The other one's kind of like this short, little funny Spanish dude, and he's like, he's like, yeah, stuttering.
Teeth are chattering.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And so I get them in. So I start the ride, and as we're driving, they're like, and I'm
Can't
like,
even hardly talk.
I asked them, I was like, how long have you guys been outside? Keep in mind, it's got to be anywhere between 17 to 20
yeah.
degrees. I mean, it's
Still cold.
It's very cold, and it's slightly windy. So it's
Ooh, so
It's-
there's a
okay.
wind
it's
chill.
Yeah.
it's it's a bitter cold night.
And they're bundled up really well in nice
No.
big coats.
No, they're not. No, they're
What?
they're not wearing nice big coats or anything. They're
They
wearing
have like a hoodie.
maybe like one of those thin kind of like just North Face jackets.
Oh, but they're up to a one below zero.
The bartender I recall he was literally wearing like a flannel. He didn't even
Ooh.
have a jacket on, just a flannel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I
What
can
the
feel the
hell?
cold. I know, what the hell. So I can feel the cold coming off them. I'm like, how long have you guys been outside? And they're like, 23 minutes. I was like, you
Don't
guys
even
got
know.
hypothermia. I was like, oh my god. And immediately the bartender and then the other guy's like, bro, you saved us. You saved our lives. And they're like, we've been trying to get an Uber ride for at least 25 plus minutes. And I said, I'm like, okay, so why the hell were you outside? Again, my brain's like, what the hell is going on? This is weird.
Absolutely. I mean,
3
you would think they'd be
a.m.
like indoors or something.
3 a.m., two dudes.
Winter.
No coats.
No-
No
like,
coats.
only the Spanish guy had a coat, but very thin. The bartender dude, younger dude, just a flannel.
They had shoes on them.
They did have shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
So, I'm talking to them, and I'm like,
It could have been a situation where they were jumping out of the window because the husband came home.
That's
Just
very well
saying.
possible.
two
I don't
of
know.
them?
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
stranger
To each
things.
Brad and
their
Bobby get up to some strength. That's all I'm thinking. It's usually
each
one
their
dude.
own.
Anyway,
Okay.
I had
Yeah.
I had to throw that
So,
in. Just,
But I'm trying to figure out, because now it's a mystery. Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Like
you have a
could
place to
literally die.
go? They
I
have a thing in
I have a
there where they want to
destination.
go.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell I'm going to like residential. I don't know exactly, but I know it's like residential areas. And sure enough, it's an apartment complex where the bartender lives.
And how did you find the bartender thing out? You
So
did some
I'm talking to him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, how long have you boys been out there? In the cold, and they're like 23 minutes, or more. I'm like, okay. I said, why? Why are you outside?
What did they say?
And that's where the interesting story comes in.
This it's not interesting yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Okay, good.
no. This is where the shit starts to unfold. So the bartender starts. He's like, so I'm a bartender. He's like, I work over at blah blah blah. I don't remember what, but some bar. I'm like, okay,
Jimmy's bar.
cool, sure, Jimmy's bar. And so I'm like, cool. And he said some girls, that I know they come in,
Some
regulars.
yeah.
They invited us over to their house.
Aha! See, I told you the husband.
And so
came
I'm
on.
like, okay, so like a party, and they're like, yeah, it was a party, and the short Mexican guy is just cracking me. He's like, bro, it was a party. It was a good party. I was like, okay. And he's like, and then the Mexican guy's like, he's like, but shit got crazy. I'm like, oh, yeah, keep in mind, I'm driving. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, what's crazy? So what happened was, they go to this party. It's a bunch of chicks. There's like one other dude, but he's like bisexual or something like that. Not that matters to the story, but
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. Just for detail.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so you two, and then I was like, how many girls? They're like, oh, there was like 4 or 5 girls, and they're hot and whatever else.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, so
and
the
he
good
picked,
numbers.
they came from the bar. He was bartending.
And
what was the other guy?
I was just about to get
Oh.
to that. Yeah, I was exactly right about to get to that. So I'm sitting, up there thinking, okay, so I got 2 bros. I was like, so you guys are like best friends? You guys went over to this party? And the Mexican guy, he's like, no, man. He's like, I don't even know where the hell I am. He's like, I'm from California. I just met this guy.
Okay.
I was like, where'd you meet him? He's like, he's my bartender, man, and he's become my best homie. And I was like, oh, this story's getting weird. I was like, okay. So I was like, you just met each other. He's like, yeah, he become my friend. I met him at the bar. And then I was like, all right, so you two went over to this party. And I was like, and you were having a good time.
So he was feeding this guy drinks, the girls
Yeah.
drinks. The girl says, come to the party because
Yep.
the bar is being closed. It's
Yeah, the
3
bar's being
a.m.
closed.
Obviously,
Yeah.
the bar
Yeah.
closed
Yeah.
at 1 or whatever it was.
So they're going to their own little after party.
And so he's
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to come with me to this dude? And he goes, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah. But it gets even funnier than that. So I'm like, okay. I was like, that's cool. And I was like, so you guys went over to this party, and the Spanish guy, he's like, yeah. He's like, my girlfriend, she just left me. I was like,
Ooh.
what? And he's like, yeah, she left me. My girl, she gone, man. She from here and she's gone. He's like, I don't know where the hell I am, bro. I'm lost. I'm like listening to him. I'm like, okay. So the bartender, he's much more coherent, and I'm like,
Do they seem tipsy, like they've been drinking?
the Spanish guy, the bartender, was just like, bro, he's like, I'm just so glad you got me. I mean, he's just straight face. He's just sitting there. He's like, God, it's so warm in here. He's saying stuff like that to me. He's like, I thought we were gonna die, and I was like, so what the hell happened at this party? And so he and this guy, that he just met, who had a girlfriend but left him,
Went to the party with her. I mean, she went to the party too?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Went to the party, or I'm not exactly sure if she left him before and then he went to the party, or if she left him because
After,
he went to
yeah.
the party.
She,
It was one of those. Not very clear.
or she left, and the bartender's like, dude, I'm going to a party. You want to come with me?
Maybe something like that. So
Okay.
yeah, it's something in between that. So
Never found that part out.
No,
Okay.
because
Doesn't
I'm just
matter.
like, I'm driving like, what the hell is going? What the hell am I about to get into? Because these two seem pretty crazy. So as I'm driving, they go to this party with all these chicks, and they're thinking they're like probably gonna get
Hooking
laid
up.
or hooking up.
Hooking up.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess shit goes really south because the bartender, he's like doing pretty well, but the other guy had a girlfriend. She left, and that's kind of like drama.
So he's crying, my girlfriend left me, and that's not sexy to
I don't
the
think he
girls.
was. I think he was just trying to like hook up with
Oh,
chicks. And
he was
people
like,
are
dude, the girl
yeah.
left me. I'm going to
And
get
these
a
other
new
girls
Yeah,
were
one.
like,
so he
you
was trying to-
scumbag and stuff.
Oh, and then
So
he's one of those guys.
So then he's like getting offended. And then I guess the bartender at some point with the host gets into this like conflict, like this
Host
fight.
girl?
The girl.
The
Yeah,
girl,
the,
yeah.
the person at the
Whose
house
house
they're
it
at.
is.
Yeah, the
okay.
host. He gets into like some kind of a conflict with her. I guess, according to them.
Probably talking about
they were
different-
like,
she mixed drinks differently than he did.
you know what?
She did.
I don't think she was a bartender.
Oh, well then that's why he's pissed because she's.
But they
telling
told me they were like getting into like a kind of like an orgy situation,
Oh,
and that's when I guess shit goes south, and that might be why they didn't have like so they're like jackets and
Clothing.
stuff. Yeah.
Wait,
so-
you just skimmed by orgy situation. What does that? Where did that come? What
so-
do you mean?
yeah,
you think
okay.
there was an? How does that even?
So
I mean,
exactly.
what are you talking about? Orgy situation.
Listen, you guys are literally just like me, where I'm just driving like, what the fuck are we?
Did I just hear that right?
talking about?
So they
Yeah.
say, "Oh, we
Yeah.
were in an orgy," but you went
Yeah,
from the bartender's pissed at the person to now
They-
there's an orgy
no,
situation.
they were-
Was there an orgy situation first, and then
Yes.
there was some talk
Yes,
about
I
she
think
wanted to be the
they were-
pinger, and then there was an issue?
They were getting into some kind of orgy situation, and then at some point, some conflict between him and the host girl broke out. The
Were they-
bartender and the host broke out, and they got into a big heated fight and argument. I guess the chick comes at him with like a golf club, and
shit.
It
yeah,
got legit.
it got like legit bad.
I
And
am
he
not
had-
gonna do that.
Yeah, they literally had to like flee. And that's why they were outside in the cold. And the person that ordered the ride was the other dude, the Spanish guy's like girlfriend, you know, who was like, I guess, according to him, done. Like they're done. So I'm like, what the fuck
Wait.
is going on?
Call your-
Whoa. So the Spanish guy's girlfriend that left him
Yeah.
called him an Uber so
Yeah.
he wouldn't freeze out in the
Yeah.
cold?
Yeah.
After he called and said, hey,
Yeah.
we got kicked out of this house. There was an orgy situation, and I
Yeah.
don't know what happened.
Exactly.
Could you call us an Uber?
But
they
to
didn't
make-
have a phone?
They had a phone, the bartender did, but his, you know, I don't know, maybe didn't have Uber, he didn't have internet. I don't know what it was, but
Phone was dead.
They were in a death
because because the other chick said she was going to call them, and I assume she
okay.
did, but I mean, I don't know, you know, why he didn't, but that was the one who ordered the ride. So I was like, okay, that makes sense why a chick
Things
picked
are
up.
clicking, except
Yeah.
they're not, because
Except-
why in the hell did she care if she just broke up with him?
I don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
She didn't want him to die.
I have no idea, but I was like, you guys are some crazy, you guys are some crazy motherfuckers. And so as I'm driving, the Spanish guy is cracking me up because I was like, so you're not from here? He's like, bro, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am at all. And I'm laughing. I'm like, where are you from? And he's from California. So I was like, all right, cool, dude. I was like, yeah, me too, And he's like, oh, you feel me? He's like, then. I was like, yeah. I
It's
said,
cold here. It's
yeah,
cold.
exactly. And so as we're driving, he's like, bro, I don't know anyone. I don't know where I am. And he didn't have a phone. That the short Spanish guy, he did not have a phone. He didn't have nothing. All he had was his little jacket. He had I think he had a wallet. That was it. I told him, I was like,
That's
what
why
you
that
gonna
other
do?
guy's his best friend now.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
Yeah.
You're my best friend, dude.
Well, as we were driving, I was thinking to myself, I was like, when his girlfriend left, she's like, fuck you, I'm taking your phone too, or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
was thinking
like-
she's got to have it.
Yeah, but anyways, so she was the one though. So I was like, okay. I was like, well, you guys lucked out, But this, as I'm taking them there, and they're laughing. They tipped me super well, by the way. That bartender, he gave me like, I think $20.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, he gave me like $20 in cash.
Score.
So yeah, so I was like, yeah, that was decent.
They were crazy, but not insane. So they weren't. It wasn't a bad experience.
No, it wasn't a bad experience at all. I thought it was fun. I mean, at first I was a little sketched out, like, oh, this is a little sus,
Seems a little
Yeah,
sus.
right.
But once I got
Some
them,
zombies walking
Yeah.
into your car, chattering teeth.
once I got them to their, to their destination, they were super cool, and and that's a story. And so as we were driving, I asked them too. I was like, "What the hell would you guys have done if you couldn't get a ride? Like nobody." They're like, "Dude, we would have died. Like nothing's open. We're in the
they were
literal
probably
ghetto.
10 minutes away from hypothermia, legit hypothermia.
Probably legit, yeah, actual legit hyperthermia. Yeah, but and
3 a.m.,
I
you're
kind
not-
of skimmed over that.
Yeah.
But I want to be clear, like they were. When I say they were thanking me, like they were profusely, like you've saved our life. Like they were thanking me so much.
Wow.
And I realized at that point, because this was pretty early on in my Ubering, days, as I was driving, I was like, wow, they could have possibly died. Because, yeah, they are, and this is the genuine ghetto. Nothing is open. Like I said, even that gas station wasn't open. They were probably at least, I don't know, maybe like 15, it was quite a drive, miles away from their destination. So I was like, yeah, they probably would have been fucked,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never know
Joshua
what's
the
going to
hero.
happen.
Yeah, I guess so. That was my takeaway. I was like, wow, this job is kind of saving some people's asses, literally. And you don't know what kind of goofy ass, weird situation people are getting into. Apparently this guy's getting swung at with a golf club and they just got like bail, out of
Ran
there.
out a bunch of Amazon women attacking them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the bartender, he didn't have his wallet. Yeah, there's something else. Yeah, he forgot he'd left his wallet in that
With-
place.
Back at the place?
Back at the place.
Okay.
With the orgy.
Yeah, with the orgy
Oh,
people.
you should probably cancel his credit cards.
Probably.
Yeah, that's something else. Because he's like, dude, I don't have a fucking wallet.
Where?
wow.
How did? What did he take his wallet out and put it on the nightstand? I mean,
maybe
what
he
was
was-
happening?
In my head,
He fought out, yeah.
again, as like I'm hearing the
Oh,
story,
because of
I'm
the
like, what
wrestling with the
hell?
girl.
Maybe.
Yeah,
In
you
some
know?
form or shape or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. The way I pictured it was like he didn't they didn't have like even their clothes. They were just like grabbing
Yeah,
their
that-
clothes
that's
and
exactly
running out
what I
the
was
freaking
thinking.
door.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
He's
Get
like
out.
paying more attention to one of the other girls, so the host comes up with the golf club. Hey, you!
Exactly.
My
You son
boobs
of a
are just
bitch.
as nice as hers. Whoa!
Yeah. So
Oh
you know,
my gosh!
yeah. This is one of those things where you're just like, what the hell? You know, this
The
is the
human
crazy
race.
stuff that happens. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
Well,
that's my
but
tale.
all that ends well, though. I mean, you saved their
Sounds that way, yeah.
lives. They and I guess the guy slept on that dude's couch probably.
I would
I
think
assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're still best friends.
Now
If
they're
you're
still
out there,
best
guys, tell us how the friendship's going. Or maybe
Here's
you guys
my
fell in
question.
love. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
I think they
Giving
were
up
into
girls after the girl comes at you with a golf club. You're like, you know what? I'm giving up women.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, that was going to tie into my question. I mean, who knows what happened after on their couch?
This is going,
see,
this
there
going
you
a
go.
whole
Yeah,
nother
you
route.
gotta-
I don't think that I didn't get that vibe, but you know what? I don't know.
Yeah, what?
He's
you
got to
never
pay for
know.
the Uber some way.
They didn't think about it. They didn't think about that in Brokeback Mountain either. You know, it just happened.
Exactly.
Ew.
I've never seen the
Not
movie.
that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, right. Well, cool. Okay, that is the story. I think that's a good one. I enjoy that. That's cool. You saved lives. You
Yeah.
had some fun dudes with a kind of an interesting story. I think it's a good
Totally.
one.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
takeaway is Ubering, it does matter. And, you know, you don't think about just how much it matters to some people, especially in such desperate circumstances and situations.
And also, I mean, you think about the drunk driving that it's taking away. I think back in the day, getting a taxi and all that was a lot more harder. I
it was
guess,
harder.
for
It's
more
drinkers
tedious,
and stuff.
probably.
I mean, I used to bartend back in the day too, and I remember calling taxis all the time and going, we can't let this person
Yeah.
out of this building without somebody else driving them or whatever. And I would think now that is just so much easier and maybe even more
It is.
accepted for drunks. A
Yeah.
drunk is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna
Uber.
take an Uber.
Take an
Yeah.
Uber there and take an Uber back. Yeah, they do it beforehand. So I think it's
I think that's probably saving
I think
lives
it's a lot.
too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All these stories we're picking up like intoxicated people. It truly is. And I'm glad they're in the back of my seat, not behind
On
me,
the wheel,
you know,
yeah.
the wheel.
On the wheel. To drive behind the wheel, not on the wheel. That would be weird driving.
Bobby's in one of them little weird clown cars. Got the wheel under you.
You use your body to steer.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, cool. How do we feel about delights and gripes? We got any gripes and delights?
Honestly, I
We'll let Brad
don't
take it.
have one. So
You don't have a delight
not
or
that
gripe?
I can think of right now. I mean, I'd have to think about it. So
Well,
I'll let you go and see
Joshua, if you
think of
have one, maybe it'll
I guess I'll go with the delight. We'll we'll keep it on a good note. I like when people, especially when you're going long trips, they do tip you when you do actually get tipped, whether it's cash or whether it's on the actual app, the card. You know, I like that. That's a delight for me, and it tells me that you actually are appreciative, you know, of what we're doing and what we're willing to do, especially when it's like for these guys, you know, it was a long drive to get to his place.
For folks that are listening, your life is worth $20
or more.
Well,
Yeah.
he gave you a $20 tip.
Say
right?
$50.
Yeah.
Well,
50.
so
That's
his
bougie.
life to him, wow, he saved my life. I'll give him $20. So
Yeah, he
so
did-
at least
Well, no, I'm thinking the ride there and the ride back. So I mean, 2 Ubers plus tip, say $50.
oh, there you go. That's what your life is worth.
More than that.
Well, yeah. So for me, I appreciate it and tells me I'm not only doing a good job, but that
You're appreciated.
yeah, that I'm appreciated. And I think that to me, it truly is. It's a delight. You know, I appreciate that as a driver.
I think that's cool.
Totally.
I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, so that'd be my delight.
I can see that. I can see it's kind of nice to be appreciated. In this world of folks, sometimes it's hard to be satisfied or appreciated your work,
Well,
your job, and that
especially
kind of
when
stuff.
we live in a society that's me first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And words are always nice, but when you're actually paying someone, it tells me like, you know, it's a lot more.
You are appreciated.
You are
for sure.
truly
Words
appreciated.
can
Don't
not
lie,
mean
you
much.
greedy bastard.
Making money, hey, making money's nice. That's the whole point we're doing it. But no, I mean, I used to bartend, and I would make badass. I mean, cocktails. I mean,
tips.
like
and the
super
waitresses
cool
would have to share their tips. I mean, when I worked as a bartender, the waitresses had to give a percentage of their tips back to the bartenders.
Yeah.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't worked in over like a year, bartending, but yeah.
Well, and I haven't worked in over 30 years, so it's been a while. Maybe stuff hasn't changed much. But I know I was so appreciative of the waitresses and all of the crap they had to go through. Yeah. And me, I mean, I don't know about you, but I was in a place where it was very busy and there was a lot, I wanted to be a bartender like Cheers. It was not like that.
like the
people
pub.
Yelling at you all the time, and you're calling 911 because somebody's trying to kill somebody in a parking lot. Some drunk dude is reaching over to the side and trying to shoot stuff in his mouth. You're like, holy... Yeah. Anyway, it's not as glamorous as you might think.
Well, I've only ever worked in upscale, like hotel bars. Super busy, super packed. I mean, super busy. Yeah. But
I worked at places that had live music and stuff, and it was freaking like the Blues Brothers with the screen on it. And they're throwing beers at them.
It sounds like fun. I mean, I've worked clubs too, and clubs are great. For making money.
Oh yeah, you make good money.
You make good money.
Man, I was like 22 years old, freaking. Making good money, but you don't have a life, man.
You don't.
When when everybody's partying, you're working.
You are the party.
Yeah, and then when the bar closes and stuff, you go hang out with everybody else in the bar. And you're like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you guys are now starting to party with. Yep. It's all 6, the same people.
Exactly.
Yeah, it gets weird after a while.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Like I realize I don't.
Does it,
have
Brad?
A life.
Have you worked the industry? Tell us your tales.
The service industry, yes. So I used
valet is kind of the same.
Well, yeah. So I used to be in charge of a downtown restaurant and a valet company that oversaw restaurants and nightclubs, and I used to oversee roughly about 30 to 40. Yeah, I can see that
because I can't see your face.
Sorry, man. That better?
Yeah, that's better.
So I used to oversee like 30 to 40 locations and about 80 to 100 guys at a time. So yeah, I've seen quite a bit of the industry.
Yeah, I had a buddy that say, if you've never had a job where you get tips, that's people that don't tip well.
Yep.
If you've ever had a job where you get tips, you realize.
Exactly.
And I'm assuming Uber, do you guys really depend on tips for actually making good money, or do you just think, oh, that's a good side note? Because as a bartender, you don't make money. You make tips. That's how you make a living.
Yeah. Yes. And with Ubering, I would say, yes, tips make pretty much, in my opinion, they make all the difference. You do get a base pay, but if you only got the base pay,
wouldn't be worth it.
No, it wouldn't be worth it.
You feel the same, right?
I do. Yep. I mean, it just depends on the night. I mean, sometimes you can get good tips and sometimes they're shitty, but you can't control that other than just putting the best foot forward and doing as much as you can to make sure that the people in your car have a good ride.
Yeah. I remember back in the 90s, I was a Pizza Hut delivery driver. And we would fight over, when it would come in. We had one side of town was crack town, and the other side of town was pretty wealthy. And you knew you'd get a good tip over here, and you might get murdered on this one. I got offered crack once for a tip for the pizza, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm good, dude. No, thank you for the crack. I'm good.
Why does that not surprise me, Bobby?
What, do you think I would accept the crack? Oh, thanks, man.
No. No, but you're already
you do
lit,
that pretty
Bobby,
good,
just
Bobby.
naturally. You're already lit up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. All right, so yeah. Back to it.
Very good. Very good. Awesome. Well, I think this was another Uber tale. Anything last words, Brad? You got any gripes or delights?
I think I'm good. I mean, Josh summed it up perfectly. I mean, it is nice to be rewarded for your hard work and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, folks, keep listening. We're going to have more interviews with different Uber drivers. We've got people set up.
Yep, we do.
We're just going to have some fun, and you're going to learn about this crazy world of Uber, and what is it called when it's generically you are what kind of drivers? What's it called?
I have no idea.
Bobby. I was going to say,
where the hell
you're going to learn about Ubering, and you're going to learn about the crazy shit that humans get into.
If you do Lyft or Uber or any of those, it's called you are a... Oh, come on, guys. Everybody that's listening is going, it's blah, blah, it's blah, blah.
An independent contractor? Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know, Bobby.
You're a part of the something industry.
Service.
service industry.
Okay, that's it. Goodbye, people. We will see you next time on. Oh, I guess I should start the music.
Yeah,
Keep All right, people. It's been a show today, and we will see you next time on Uber Tales. Don't shoot the driver.